Hey guys, so as you can tell, probably from the title of this video, this is going to be all about making this device right here. I made this out of simply one bolt and a couple nuts. And it only cost me about, I think, less than $1. But this little adaptation here costs a little bit more. So let's get started with the build. So to start off the build, the first thing we're going to need is this 1/4 inch GoPro adapter. Now these things I looked online, I don't know, the cheapest one I could find was for about $3. And this is probably the most important part of your build because otherwise your build just couldn't happen. I mean, what else are you going to do when you can't attach a bolt to anything? So now the next thing you're going to need for this is a 1/4 inch bolt. This bolt right here was, I think, 18 cents. And you're going to need 2 washers, a nut, and that's it for the bolt section, like the hardware section. Then you're going to need a sharp knife. This knife is to cut a hole in the back of your hat. And the last piece you're going to need is, of course, an old hat. But I can't really focus on it very well right now, so I'll show you later. So the first step you're going to do is you're going to take your 1/4 inch bolt you have right here, and you're gonna take off about 1/2 inch or so with a hacksaw or anything you can use to cut it. Now this one right here was an inch. This bolt is an inch long because it was the cheapest, but if you got a longer one you'd obviously have to cut off more. Just make sure there's only about 1/2 inch left of bolt on this when you cut it. And then after that, well, here I've got one just to show you. This is what it should look like when you're done. And then after you cut it, you want to make sure to take a file and you want to round the edge off. Like you want to round it off just enough so it will screw into your adapter. Like if I had just cut this and hadn't rounded it off, it would not have screwed in here very well. And that's also to protect from stripping the inside of your threads. Now, the next step you're going to do is with the hat, and I'll reposition the camera so you can see this. Okay, so we have our hat here. Now, the first step you're going to do is you're going to take your knife or whatever you have used to cut this, you're going to take it in between this seam, and you're going to cut probably a 1/2 inch hole. You're going to cut it just big enough so your bolt can poke through. Like, that way you won't waste any of the material. And that's what the bolt should look like when it's poking through. But before we do that, the first step we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take probably a 2 by 2 inch piece of cardboard and just cut like an X in here with a knife. So you're going to stab your knife through and you're going to cut an X shape. Then you're going to take your bolt, or you're going to take a washer, you're going to put the washer on your bolt, you're going to push your bolt through the cardboard and through your hat. And then after that, you're going to take another washer, and then you're going to take your bolt, or your nut, sorry. You're going to take your nut, and you're going to screw that onto your bolt. If I can get this stupid thing to screw on there. Ugh. Anyway, you get the gist. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so this is what it will look like when you're done. The bolt will be sticking out the front like that, and then the inside will look like this. Now, some of you might be wondering, why the heck is this cardboard here? If it weren't for this cardboard, when you put your GoPro onto that bolt up there, it will just wiggle around. I tried it before, and your GoPro will just flop everywhere. You definitely need this, and it was a real simple fix. And then the next thing I'm going to do, on top of this, after you've tightened it down, this bolt right here, though, the Phillips drive bit, whatever it's called, that you're going to take some simple electrical tape. You're going to put it right over that. Now, this step isn't necessary, but I just use it because otherwise the Phillips bit, or whatever, don't know what it's called, that will yank some of the hairs out of your head. And then the next step you have to do is just screw on your adapter, which may take some finessing. Okay, so yeah, you're just going to screw on your adapter and you're going to twist it until the GoPro will line up perfectly with your field of view. And I think that's about good right there. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's put on with the GoPro running. That way you can see the view of the GoPro. Okay, so this is what the field of the GoPro looks like when you have got it on your head. Now, if the bill of your hat is showing, you can't see it in this one, but if it is, all you have to do is hold the GoPro you can see, you can get a perfect first person view of what you're doing. Like, let's say, I don't know, for some reason you're going to stab someone, you can get a perfect view of what it looks like to stab them. And then, I don't know, you could also do like fist fighting with this, or my personal favorite is I'm going to use this for archery, because that's what I do. And anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and also leave a like. And I'll see you guys next time.